In this module, classification of elements 2, we would be learning about the periodicity in properties like the atomic radii, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, and also solving some latest questions of NEET and JEE exam. In the periodic table, we will be learning about the periodicity in properties as we move across a period from left to right. So we go from left to right in a period, or we go from top to bottom in a group. So in any group we go from top to bottom. So let's take the first property, that is the atomic radii. So the atomic radius is the distance from center of the nucleus to the outermost electron. So if we have, let's say, a nucleus of hydrogen, so this is a nucleus of hydrogen with one proton, and we have the electron in the first shell in the 1s orbital. So the atomic radius is the distance between the center of the nucleus to the outermost electron. Now it is very difficult to measure atomic radii since electron clouds surrounding the nucleus do not have sharp boundaries. The atomic radii is measured therefore in terms of covalent radii or metallic radii. So if we have a covalent bond, a molecule formed with a covalent bond, then the distance, half the distance between nuclei of the two similar atoms, is called as the covalent bond. So if we have chlorine molecule, then it is the half the distance between chlorine atom and another chlorine atom which is bonded by covalent bond is called as the covalent radius. So if we have a metal, then the distance between nuclei of two adjacent metal atoms in a solid crystal lattice is called as the metallic radius. Now if we do not have covalent or metallic bond and we have only van der Waals force of attraction between non-bonded atoms, then that is called as the van der Waals radius. So the van der Waals radius is always greater than the metallic radius, and the covalent radius is the smallest. Now we also have ionic radius. So if we have ions, the radius of an ion is called as the ionic radius. So if a atom loses an electron, we get a cation. So if we have a atom M, if it loses an electron, we get M positive plus an electron. So this is the cation. So that will be called as the cationic radius. And if it gains an electron, it becomes an anion where it is gaining one electron. So naturally, cation which has lost an electron will have the least ionic radius. So cation has the least ionic radius, then the parent atom, and then the anion. So larger the negative charge, the larger will be the ionic radius. So in isoelectronic species, that is species with the same number of electrons, the ionic radii increases with increase in negative charge. So in general, we say atomic size. So what happens to this atomic radii as we go down from top to bottom in a group? So we are moving from top to bottom. This is the first group: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So as we can see, this is the second period, the second shell. If we have the seventh period, francium, the seventh, we have one electron in the 7s1. So as we go down a group, the number of shells are increasing. So if the number of shells are increasing, the size is increasing. The atomic number is also increasing, but this decrease in size due to increase in the atomic number is less than the increase in size due to formation of an extra shell. So because of formation of an extra shell, what happens as we go down the group? The atomic size will increase as we go down a group. So atomic size increases in a group. So it increases as we go down a group. So on moving down the group, the atomic size, atomic radii increases. Now if we see in a period, we have taken the second period. So we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. The atomic number is increasing. It is 3, 4, 5 to 10. But where are the electrons placed? Electrons are placed in the, it is 2s1, 2s2, 2s2, 2p1 to 2s2, 2p6. So electrons are going into the same second shell, but the atomic number or the nuclear charge is increasing. So as we go across a period, the atomic size decreases. Why is it decreasing? Because of increase in nuclear charge. Nuclear charge is increasing, but the electrons are added to the same shell. So the net result is there is a decrease in atomic radii. Decrease in atomic radii. Now if we take the atomic size of the first member of a group is similar to the second element of the following group. Now if we are taking the periodic table, if we see the periodic table, if we look at group 1, then lithium is the first member of group 1. Lithium is first member of group 1. So lithium, the size will decrease as we go across to beryllium and then increases. So we find that lithium and magnesium would have almost similar size. So this is called as diagonal relationship. Similarly, beryllium and aluminum have similar size. Boron and silicon have this is called as diagonal relationship. So because of similar size, they have similar properties. Now let us look at a question based on ionic radii. The correct order of decreasing ionic radii among the following isoelectronic species is. So what is given? They are isoelectronic species. That means they have the same number of electrons. So if we say calcium Ca2 plus, so Ca2 plus has got how many electrons? Calcium atomic number is 20. We have removed 2 electrons, so 18. So all of these species have got 18 electron. So the ionic radii increases with increase in negative charge in isoelectronic species. So which will have the greatest atomic sizes? Then the ion which has the greatest negative charge. So if we take this C, we find that S2 minus has 2 negative charges. So this will have the greatest ionic radii. Then we have Cl minus has got a single negative charge. Then we have K plus which have 1 positive charge. Then the least radius ionic radii would be Ca2 plus which has 2 positive charges. So the correct answer would be C. Now let's take up another question. Among calcium, magnesium, phosphorus and chlorine, the order of increasing atomic radii is what will be the order? Atomic radii decreases in a period and increases in a group. So we have calcium, magnesium, phosphorus and chlorine. Where are they placed in the periodic table? We have calcium, magnesium, phosphorus and chlorine. So we have magnesium in the third period, we have magnesium, and then we have, this is the third period, magnesium, phosphorus and chlorine. So we are going from left to right in a period. So as we go from left to right, atomic size decreases. So the least size would be that of chlorine, and the maximum size would be that of magnesium. And as we go down a group, the atomic size increases. So what would be the maximum size? Would be that of calcium, and then we have calcium, then magnesium is on the left hand side of the periodic table, then phosphorus and chlorine will have the least size. So the correct choice is B. Let's look at the next property, that is the ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy is the energy required when an electron is removed from the outermost shell of a neutral gaseous atom. So if from M in the gaseous state we remove an electron, then we get M plus and an electron. So energy required for this reaction is called as ionization enthalpy. So it is delta H. We are removing the first electron, so delta H1, and it is ionization enthalpy. So I say delta I H1. So the ionization enthalpy is always positive. Why is it positive? Because we are breaking an attractive force. There is an attraction between the nucleus and the electron which is being removed. So because of this attraction, we have to break this attraction. We will be requiring energy. So if the attractive force is more, the energy required is more. So if we are removing an electron from a shell which is away from the nucleus, the attraction of the nucleus and the electron will be less, so less energy will be required. So if we have to remove the second electron from an already positive ion, suppose I have to remove a second electron, M plus, I remove another electron, what will I get? I get M 2 plus and another electron. This energy required is called as delta IH2. So this delta IH2 is always greater than, delta H2 is always greater than the first ionization enthalpy, delta H1. Similarly, delta H3 will be greater than the second ionization enthalpy. Now let us see what happens to ionization enthalpy as we move down a group. So as we go down a group, the atomic size is increasing. So as we go down a group, let's say the first group, the atomic size is increasing. So if the atomic size is more, what happens? We are removing an electron from a shell which is away from the nucleus. So we require less energy, therefore ionization enthalpy will decrease when we go down a group. So ionization enthalpy decreases as we go down a group. Now if the ionization enthalpy is less, then what happens? Ionization enthalpy, then this also gives the metallic character or basicity of an element or the basicity of an oxide. So if the metallic ionization enthalpy is less, then the element is more basic. So if we take the periodic table, then elements which are placed on the left hand side of the periodic table are more metallic. We will find the metals are placed on the left hand side. They are the most metallic, and as we go from left to right in a period, we have the non-metals. So we have the non-metals on the right hand side. We have all these are non-metals, and then in between we also have boron, silicon, germanium, these tellurium, polonium. They are all having properties both of metals and non-metals, and they are called as metalloids. So what happens to metallic character in a group as we go down the group? So the most metallic element would be element which is below on the left hand side of the periodic table. So francium is the most metallic element, or basicity increases as we go down the group, or their oxides will be more basic. So we have to remember, as we go down a group, ionization enthalpy decreases, therefore metallic character or basicity will increase. Now if we take ionization enthalpy in a period, we have taken the second period. It is lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon to neon, and as we know what happens to atomic size as we go across a period. So atomic size decreases as we go across a period. So if we go atomic size decreases, it becomes more difficult for more energy is required to remove an electron. The atomic size is decreasing. So if it decreases, we require more energy to remove this electron. The nuclear charge is increasing, atomic size is decreasing, we require more energy. So ionization enthalpy increases in a period. So in a period, in general, ionization enthalpy will increase. But we have two anomalies. Beryllium has electronic configuration of 2s2, so it is stable, so it becomes more difficult to remove an electron from beryllium than boron. So boron has less ionization enthalpy than beryllium. Similarly, another anomaly is nitrogen. It is having 2p3. This is half filled p orbital. So this is more stable than oxygen, which has 4 electrons in the 2p orbital. So oxygen has less ionization enthalpy than nitrogen. So in the second period, these are the two anomalies. You have to remember them. Beryllium has got greater ionization enthalpy than boron. Nitrogen has greater ionization enthalpy than oxygen. So in general, ionization enthalpy increases as we go from left to right in a period, and the exceptions are beryllium is having greater than boron, nitrogen is having greater than oxygen. So what happens to the metallic character? As ionization enthalpy increases, metallic character will decrease. Similarly, basicity will decrease, or the basicity of oxides will decrease as we go from left to right in a period. Let's take up one question of NEET 2019. For the second period elements, the correct increasing order of first ionization enthalpy is, so we have already seen there are two exceptions. Beryllium has got more than boron and nitrogen more than oxygen. So the correct order would be lithium has got the least, then boron, beryllium, this is one anomaly, this is oxygen, nitrogen. So the correct choice would be C. So this is important for you to remember. Now if we see electron gain enthalpy, it is the electron gain enthalpy is the energy change when an extra electron is added to a neutral gaseous atom. So in this neutral gaseous atom X, if we add an electron, we get X minus. So this energy change is called as delta Eg, electron gain enthalpy, H, and the sign may be exothermic or endothermic, or so the delta H sign would be either positive or negative. So in case of noble gases it is positive, and in general for others it is negative. The addition of second electron of a uninegative ion is called as second electron gain enthalpy. So in a period, the electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative as we go across from left to right in a period. So as we go from left to right in a period, atomic size is decreasing. So the electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative. So we are adding an electron to a shell. We have the nucleus. If we take the second period, the size is decreasing. So we are adding an electron to a shell which is closer to the nucleus. So more energy is released, more negative. Electron gain enthalpy becomes more negative as we go from left to right in a period. So decrease in atomic size and increase in effective nuclear charge are the reasons why it is so. So as we go across, the non-metallic character, acidity and acidity of oxide increases. So we find that as we go from left to right, the non-metallic character, acidity and acidity of the oxide increases as we go from left to right in a period. So on the right hand side in a period, we have more acidic elements, and as we go down a group, what happens to electron gain enthalpy? So if we take, let's say, the 17th group, this is the 17th group, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. So this is the 17th group. As we go down the group, you see what happens to electron gain enthalpy. So in what are we doing in electron gain enthalpy? We are adding electron into the outermost shell. So here we are adding to the 2p, here we are adding to the 3p in case of chlorine. Now fluorine, there is an exception here. In general, electron gain enthalpy becomes less negative as we go from top to bottom in a group. It becomes less negative. So when we add electron, we are adding an electron. We have got the nucleus. We are adding an electron to a shell which is away from the nucleus. We are adding an electron to a shell which is away from the nucleus. Let's say we are adding an electron to the first shell. We are adding an electron to the third shell. So this extra added electron, there will be more attraction between the added electron and the nucleus than an electron which is away from the nucleus. So less energy, less attraction, less energy is released. Now in this this one, in group 17, we have one exception, that chlorine has got greater electron gain enthalpy than fluorine in the 17th group. Now this is because in case of fluorine, the electrons are added to the 2p shell. So in the second shell, already there are 7 electrons, 2s2, 2p5. We are adding an electron, and the fluorine already has the smallest size. Then in case of chlorine, where it is going into the 3p. So because of repulsion between the electrons present in the second shell, they will be, the fluorine has got less electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. So this is due to the fact that adding an electron to a very small 2p orbital in fluorine leads to greater repulsion between electrons than adding an electron to 3p orbital in chlorine. Similarly, sulfur has got greater electron gain enthalpy than oxygen. So we find non-metallic character, acidity and acidity of oxides decreases as we go down the group. So non-metallic character decreases as we go down the group, but metallic character increases as we go down the group. So if we say electronegativity, the relative tendency of an atom in a molecule to attract shared pair of electrons is called as electronegativity. So let's say we take an example of hydrogen fluoride, HF. So we have HF. So the electrons between, there is a covalent bond between hydrogen and fluorine. So the electron should be in between that of fluorine and hydrogen. But fluorine has got more tendency to pull the shared pair of electron. So these electrons, instead of being present in between hydrogen and fluorine, they are more towards the fluorine than towards the hydrogen. So fluorine gets a slight negative charge while hydrogen gets a slight positive charge. So this tendency of an atom in a molecule to attract shared pair of electron is called as electronegativity. So electronegativity increases from left to right, and in a group it is decreasing. So the most electronegative element is fluorine, and so fluorine is the most electronegative. Then we have oxygen, then chlorine and nitrogen, they are almost equal, and then we have bromine. Let us take up the latest NEET and JEE questions. Which of the following oxides is most acidic in nature? We have magnesium oxide, beryllium oxide, barium oxide and calcium oxide. Now if we see the position of these elements in the periodic table, they are all from group 2 and beryllium to calcium. Now what happens to the electron gain enthalpy as we go down a group? It decreases. So the acidic character decreases as we go down a group. So which element would be most acidic? Beryllium would be the most acidic and calcium would be the least acidic. So the most acidic oxide would be beryllium oxide, B. So B, beryllium oxide, would be the most acidic oxide. Let's take the next question. 3 elements of third period X, Y, Z such that oxide of X is acidic, Y is amphoteric and Z is basic. The order of atomic numbers of the 3 elements is, now if we take the periodic table, then the acidity increases as we go from left to right in the periodic table. So elements which are on the right side are more acidic than elements which are on the left hand side of the periodic table. So left hand side, they are less acidic or basic, and in between we have these elements which are amphoteric in nature. So as we go from left to right, atomic number also increases. So acidity is increasing and atomic number is increasing as we go from left to right in the periodic table. So if we take X, Y, Z, so we find that X is acidic, Y is amphoteric, and Z is basic. So as X is acidic, it is on the right hand side, and then Y is amphoteric, it would be in the center, and then Z would be on the left hand side of the periodic table. So what happens to atomic number as we go from left to right in the periodic table? It is increasing. So X would have greater atomic number than Y than Z. So which would be the correct answer? Then A would be the correct answer, as X is greater than Y is greater than Z. So the correct answer is A. Let's take the next question. Which of the following represents the correct order of increasing electron gain enthalpy with negative sign for oxygen, sulfur, fluorine and chlorine? Now if we see the position of oxygen is on top of group 16, and then we have sulfur, and then in 17 group we have fluorine, and then we have chlorine. Now we know that the electron gain enthalpy will decrease as we go down the group, but these are the two exceptions. Chlorine has got greater electron gain enthalpy than fluorine, and sulfur has got greater electron gain enthalpy than oxygen, and electron gain enthalpy will increase as we go from left to right in the periodic table. So which would be the correct order? That means we find that oxygen would be having the least electron gain enthalpy, then sulfur, then it comes to fluorine, and then chlorine would be having the highest electron gain enthalpy. So B would be the correct choice in this case. So in the periodic table, now what happens to the atomic size? Atomic size increases as we go down in the periodic table, and it decreases as we go across. Ionization enthalpy will decrease as we go down a group and increase as we go across a period. Similarly, electron gain enthalpy will decrease as we go down a group and increase as we go across from left to right in a period. So thank you. Please like and subscribe. Learn with Neera Sharma.